Some women will be your greatest ally in the pursuit of a virtuous life, and some will be the heaviest anchor that ensures your decline. The tragedy is that most men do not realize which one they have chosen until it is far too late. Let us be clear on a fundamental principle. Marriage does not change a woman's character. It is a magnifying glass. It only intensifies who she already is. If she is supportive, it will magnify her loyalty. If she is selfish, it will magnify her capacity to drain you. The good news is that character, unlike fleeting emotions, reveals itself in consistent patterns. The truth shows itself early to the man who is willing to look. And once you know what to observe, you will never again mistake the temporary passion of attraction for the lifelong foundation of a true partnership. In this guide, we are not discussing romance. We are practicing the Stoic art of discernment. We will expose 10 signs that reveal if a woman's character is truly aligned with virtue, or if she is a danger disguised as love. This channel is a community of men who refuse to walk blind into the most important decision of their lives. Join us. Subscribe, like this video. And let me know in the comments if you have ever had to ask yourself the difficult question. Would the woman you are with still stand by you if everything collapsed tomorrow? Think about that question as we move forward, because the very first sign I am about to reveal will test exactly that. Sign 1, she stands by you through both your highs and your lows. The first and most crucial test of a woman's character is not how she celebrates with you in victory, but how she stands with you in defeat. A woman who only appears when you are successful, when your wallet is full and the spotlight is on you, is not a wife. She is a visitor, a tourist in your life, passing through for the benefits of the good times. The true test of loyalty does not happen when you are at the top of your game. It happens when you stumble, when the crowd of admirers disappears, when the laughter fades, and when you have nothing to offer except your raw, unpolished, struggling self. It is in that quiet, difficult moment that her true character reveals itself. Psychologically, it is easy for people to be drawn to pleasure and status. Many women will happily be present when you are shining, because being attached to your success raises their own image. But when hardship arrives, when money is tight, when a business fails, when you are wrestling with your own demons, those same women vanish. Why? Because they were never invested in you, the man. They were invested in the lifestyle, the security and the status you provided. A woman who is truly wifey material will not flinch when your world turns dark. She will sit with you in the silence when words cannot fix the pain. She will remind you of your worth when the world is telling you that you are nothing. She proves that she is not there for the party. She is there for the partnership. In her eyes, you are the reason to stay, not the circumstances surrounding you. If she disappears the moment you fall, understand that she was never truly yours to begin with. She was merely renting space in your success, waiting for the lease to expire. A wife stays. A passerby leaves. A man of wisdom must learn to tell the difference before it costs him everything. Sign 2, you still find her attractive when she's not polished up. The second sign is a test, not of her character, but of the authenticity of your own attraction. Real, lasting connection is revealed when the filters are gone, the makeup is off, and there is no longer any effort to impress. The modern world has trained men to fall in love with illusions. Social media is a gallery of carefully constructed angles, filters, and artificial beauty that vanishes the moment reality steps in. But a marriage is not lived on an Instagram feed. A marriage is waking up to the same face every single morning, seeing her in her raw, unfiltered state, and still feeling that undeniable pull toward her. That is when you know the connection is deeper than cosmetics. Many men confuse their desire for an image with a genuine attachment to a person. And when the reality of that person, with her flaws, her tired mornings, her imperfections, does not match the fantasy they have built in their minds, frustration and disappointment set in. This is why so many relationships collapse after the honeymoon phase. They were not built on genuine attraction. They were built on a mutual performance. When she can roll out of bed with messy hair, tired eyes, and no makeup, and your first thought is still a quiet sense of pride and affection. That is when you have found something solid. The danger comes when your attraction is entirely dependent on how she presents herself. If you only feel drawn to her when she is dressed up, when she is performing femininity for an audience, then you are not in love with her. You are in love with her disguise, and a disguise cannot last a lifetime. At the end of the day, a Stoic seeks to live in accordance with nature. And the nature of life is that looks fade, skin changes, and beauty evolves. But if you can see her, truly see her, in her most unfiltered and human state, and still feel a deep sense of desire and connection, you are not just chasing an image. You are building a foundation for a life. That is the difference between a fling and a future. Sign 3. She can stand on her own, both emotionally and financially. A woman who depends on you for every ounce of her stability is not a partner. She is a liability. This is a hard truth, but a necessary one. Independence, in a woman of character, is not about rejecting a partnership. It is about proving that she can hold her ground as an individual, even if the world collapses around her. When a woman shows emotional strength, it means she does not crumble into chaos every time life gets heavy. When she shows financial strength, it means she is not looking at you as a permanent ATM. Together, those qualities form a foundation upon which a true partnership can be built. Psychologically, dependency creates a profound and destructive imbalance. The more one partner needs, the more the other partner must give, until the relationship is no longer one of equals. A woman who cannot support herself emotionally or financially will always, consciously or not, exert pressure on you to carry the entire weight alone. And when you carry it all, you do not have a wife, you have a dependent. That imbalance destroys respect. Because respect cannot grow when one person is always the provider and the other is always the receiver. The truth is simple. A woman who can pay her own bills, make her own decisions, and handle her own emotions without collapsing is the kind of woman who enters a marriage as an equal. She does not drain your energy, she adds to it. She does not deplete your resources, she helps you build them. She becomes a partner who can step in and be your rock when life throws you down, not someone who drags you deeper into the pit. If she cannot stand on her own, you will spend your life carrying her. And she will not love you for who you are. She will need you for what you give. And the day you are no longer able to give, whether through financial hardship or your own emotional exhaustion, the relationship will stop breathing. Choose a partner, not a project. Choose an ally, not a dependent. Sign 4. She pushes you to become the best version of yourself, a true partner. A woman who is genuine wifey material does not just admire the man you are today. She sees the potential of the man you could be tomorrow, and she challenges you to grow into him. Encouragement is easy to fake when times are smooth. But genuine support reveals itself in the moments of friction. When you are questioning yourself, when your ambition feels impossible, when quitting seems like the only logical option, a woman who believes in your potential will not let you settle for mediocrity. She will not corset your weaknesses. She will remind you of your goals. She will hold you accountable to your own standards. And she will celebrate the difficult progress you make along the way. Psychologically, men thrive when they have a purpose, and when they have someone who reinforces that purpose. A supportive partner becomes an amplifier of your own masculine drive. Instead of distracting you with drama or tearing you down with criticism, she builds you up. She helps you stay focused on your path. This does not mean she mindlessly flatters your ego. On the contrary, it means she sees your weaknesses and still calls you forward into your strength. That type of influence is rare, and it is priceless. But here is the danger. A woman who mocks your ambitions, who dismisses your dreams, or who constantly plants seeds of doubt in your mind will slowly break you down. Instead of being your teammate, she becomes your competitor or your saboteur, draining your energy and pulling you off your path. And once a man loses his sense of purpose, he loses the very core of what makes him who he is. The right woman will be your greatest ally, not your heaviest chain. If she pushes you toward excellence, you have found someone worth building a life with. If she holds you back, no amount of attraction can make up for the dead weight of her resistance. Sen 5, she allows you to be vulnerable without demanding your strong all the time society. And perhaps your own internal programming teaches men to carry their pain in silence, to grit their teeth and never bend. But true strength, as the Stoics knew, is not measured by how well you bury your emotions. It is measured by how you face them with reason and courage. A woman who is truly wifey material understands this. She does not expect you to be a superhero 24/7. She sees the human being behind the armor. And she does not shame you for having cracks. Psychologically, when a man is forced to constantly hide his weaknesses, he becomes emotionally disconnected, even from himself. That disconnection destroys intimacy, because true intimacy requires honesty. If she can hold a safe space for you to be real, to admit fear, to show sadness, to express doubt without judgment, then she is giving you the freedom to be a whole person. And that freedom is what keeps a relationship breathing over the long term. But if she mocks you when you stumble, if she rolls her eyes when you admit your struggles, or if she weaponizes your vulnerability against you in future arguments, understand this. She does not love you. She leverages you. A woman who turns your weakest moments into ammunition will destroy you from the inside out. A wife does not demand invincibility. She respects your humanity. She knows that even the strongest men bleed. And she does not see that as a failure. She sees your willingness to share it with her as a profound act of trust. The wrong woman will punish you for being human. The right woman will stand closer when you finally let the mask slip. That single difference will determine whether you feel safe in your own home or trapped in a lifelong performance. Sign 6, she makes the effort to connect with your family. A marriage does not just bind two people. It binds two families, two histories, two tribes. Whether you like it or not, your family is part of the equation. A woman who genuinely wants a future with you will not avoid that reality. She will show respect to your parents. She will take the time to understand your siblings. She will make a sincere effort to fit in, even if it does not come naturally to her. That willingness signals maturity, respect, and a true commitment to building a shared life. From a psychological standpoint, humans are tribal creatures. We seek acceptance from the groups that shaped us. When your partner integrates with your family, it reassures you on a deep level that your two worlds can coexist peacefully. It eliminates the silent tension of living a double life, one with her and one with them. But when a woman resists your family, criticizes them openly, or actively tries to isolate you from them, you must recognize the danger. That is not independence. It is an act of division. She may argue that the relationship is just about the two of you, but in reality, she is attempting to cut you off from a support system that has been with you far longer than she has. And once she succeeds in separating you, she holds more control, because you have nowhere else to lean. This is a deep and often complex issue for many men. It is a true test of a woman's character. In the comments below, I would be interested to hear from the men in this community. Share a story of how a partner either successfully integrated with your family, or how a failure to do so revealed a deeper issue in the relationship. Your experience could offer invaluable wisdom to another man facing this challenge. A wife does not have to adore every member of your family, but she must respect them because they are a part of you. If she can coexist peacefully, you gain an ally. If she wages war, you inherit a lifelong conflict. The choice is clear. Build with someone who brings people together, not someone who tears your world apart. Sign 7, compromise doesn't feel like a lost compromise. In a healthy relationship is not about one person giving up their identity for the other. It is about both partners choosing the well-being of the relationship over the small battles of the ego. It is the recognition that the bond matters more than being right. When you find yourself willingly adjusting certain habits, shifting priorities, or making sacrifices for her, and it feels like a worthy investment rather than a painful loss, it shows that the connection has real value to you. A woman who is worthy of marriage will inspire those compromises naturally, because she makes them too. From a psychological perspective, Mutual compromise is what strengthens attachment. Both partners feel valued, respected, and understood. It creates a balance of power. Each side bends at times, knowing the other will bend too. That reciprocity builds a deep and abiding trust, because you know neither of you is carrying the weight of the relationship alone. The danger is when compromise becomes one-sided. If you are always the one changing your plans, always the one apologizing, always the one sacrificing, while she refuses to adjust her life in any meaningful way, you are not in a relationship. You are in servitude. She is not meeting you halfway. She is training you to obey. Over time, this imbalance will breed resentment. You will lose your sense of self, and she will lose her respect for you. Because respect cannot survive in a dynamic where one person always submits. A true wife does not demand blind sacrifice. She meets you in the middle. She understands that love is not control, it is collaboration. If you find yourself compromising joyfully, because she does the same for you, you are building a future. But if you find yourself bending until you break, while she never lifts a finger, understand this: you are not being loved. You are being managed. And that is not a marriage worth walking into. Sen 8. She respects what matters to you. A relationship is not built on one person's world. It is built when both partners have the curiosity and respect to step into each other's lives. A woman who sees what you value, your hobbies, your passions, your work, and makes a sincere effort to understand it, even if it is not her own passion, is showing you something powerful: respect for your individuality. She does not have to love football, business, or whatever hobbies drive you. But if she listens when you talk about them, if she asks questions, if she supports the time you invest in them, because she knows they matter to you, that is a profound sign of commitment. Psychologically, shared attention is a key sign of emotional investment. When she cares about what you care about, she is telling you, non-verbally, that your happiness is tied to hers. This acknowledgement is what keeps a man from feeling invisible and alone within his own relationship. The danger, of course, is when she dismisses your passions or belittles what excites you. If she mocks your hobbies as childish, rolls her eyes at your goals, or demands that all of the focus must remain on her and her interests, the balance is gone. Over time, you will stop sharing. You will stop opening up. And when a man no longer feels safe to share his world with his partner, he begins to build walls. Those walls do not just protect him, they inevitably shut her out. A wife does not need to love what you love, but she must respect what you love, because it is a part of who you are. If she invests in your world, you will gladly invest in hers. If she refuses, the relationship will shrink into a state of selfishness. And selfishness kills connection faster than time ever could. Sign 9. You share the same core values. Attraction may be the spark that starts a relationship, but it is shared core values that sustain it through the storms of life. Your core values, your fundamental beliefs about family, money, loyalty, integrity, and how to live a good life, are the architectural blueprint of your future. If your blueprints clash, the house you try to build together will inevitably collapse. A woman who shares your values does not just agree with you on surface-level topics. She aligns with the very foundation of who you are. Psychologically, our values dictate our behavior, especially under pressure. When two people live by different internal codes, conflict is not just possible, it is guaranteed. One believes in saving for the future, the other believes in living for the moment. One wants children, the other does not. One honors commitment as a sacred bond, the other treats it casually. These are not small disagreements. They are ticking time bombs. Over time, these unresolved differences in core values will turn into resentment, bitterness, and eventually, the destruction of the relationship. This is why your intuition in the early stages is so critical. That gut instinct is not magic. It is a form of rapid, subconscious pattern recognition. When you feel that a woman is the one, it is often because at a level beneath conscious thought, you have noticed that her behavior, her beliefs, and her priorities align with yours. Your mind is connecting dots you might not even see. That feeling of ease, of harmony, is your subconscious telling you the blueprints match. But you must ignore this signal at your own peril. If you sense a deep and fundamental conflict in your core values, and you silence that intuition because she is beautiful or charming or fun, you are trading long-term stability for short-term pleasure. And when the pleasure fades, the conflict will surface louder and sharper than ever. A wife is not just someone you desire, she is someone you can build a life with. Without shared values, a marriage is not a partnership, it is a battlefield. Sign 10. You are truly compatible in intimacy. Our final sign addresses a topic that is often treated as secondary, but which is, in reality, one of the central pillars of a lasting marriage. Physical intimacy may not be the foundation, but it is the powerful glue that holds two people together through the years. When two partners are truly compatible in this area, it creates a bond that is more than just physical. It is emotional, psychological, and even spiritual. Intimacy becomes the unspoken language of trust, of desire, of unity. Without it, even the strongest relationship can weaken, even if everything else seems perfect on paper. Psychologically, unmet needs for closeness and physical connection create frustration, distance, and eventually, a profound disconnection. Many men underestimate this, assuming that a general attraction will be enough to sustain the relationship over decades. But intimacy is not about attraction alone. It is about compatibility. It is about understanding each other's needs, communicating desires honestly, and respecting each other's boundaries. When both partners are aligned in this area, the bond strengthens and becomes a source of renewal and joy in the relationship. The danger comes when this compatibility is ignored or taken for granted. If one partner feels starved of closeness while the other dismisses its importance, resentment will grow. Silence will turn into avoidance. Avoidance will turn into disinterest. And disinterest will eventually kill the relationship from the inside out. Many marriages have collapsed not because of money or arguments, but because intimacy was neglected, treated as a chore, or used as a weapon. A woman who is wifey material does not make closeness a transaction, and she does not use it to manipulate. She values it as a shared expression of love and mutual respect. If you can communicate openly and honestly with her about this deeply personal area and feel both safe and fulfilled, you have the foundation for a lasting, powerful connection. If not, you are building on a fault line that will one day split wide open. Choosing a woman to build a life with is not about romance, butterflies, or fairy tales. It is about a sober and clear-eyed assessment of reality. These 10 signs are not a random wish list. They are the blueprint of a stable and virtuous character. When you see them in her, you are not just choosing a wife. You are choosing a future where respect, balance, and mutual growth are possible. But to ignore these signs is to choose your own cage. Marry a woman who abandons you when you fall, and you will face loneliness inside your own home. Tie yourself to someone who cannot stand on her own, and you will spend your life carrying a weight that will eventually drain the very soul from you. The right woman does not make life effortless, but she makes the fight worthwhile. She will push you when you are tired, accept you when you are weak, and respect the man you are striving to become. That is not a fantasy. It is the result of making a wise and discerning choice. So, you must ask yourself the hard question: does the woman you are with embody these signs? Or are you lying to yourself because you are afraid to start over? Better to face the truth now than to pay the brutal price of denial for the rest of your life. If this message woke something in you, then do something about it. Like this video. Share it with a man who needs to hear this truth. And subscribe to this channel. Finally, let me know in the comments, which of these 10 signs do you believe is the most critical foundation for a lasting partnership? Here, we don't play games with love. We apply timeless principles so that men can build their lives on solid ground.